Hi everyone, welcome. This is the new moon in Virgo ceremony call, and I am so excited to do our new moon intention planning. So I have got like new moon vibes, like I'm just zinging from the energy of it. And this is like one of my favorite rituals because it's a lot about just like letting go and taking your hands off the wheel. If you've already read the ritual, you'll see that I said like this ritual is a lot about like giving it up to God and or letting Jesus take the wheel or whatever saying that you guys have. Basically, this is a month of surrender. And I don't know, there's just something so like freeing and liberating about the idea of just knowing that the divine source, God of my own understanding, God of your own understanding, infinite intelligence, whatever you connect with, whatever higher power you connect with, knowing that it has our back and that it's okay to just surrender and then to get comfortable in that surrendering. So for today's ceremony, like I said, it is the Virgo new moon. You're going to want to make sure that you take the time to do your Foursquare. Plain Jane, I am. It's my mom's middle name, Jane. Piece of paper, fold it in half, fold it in half. If you want to use the fancy PDFs that are available in the resource section, you can go ahead and do that. You can print all 12 of them out and it'll have like a front and back for each of the signs, or just boom, write it out. So as I've been talking about, the four quadrants are ease, flow, connection, and expansion. Those are the ones that I'm using this year. Full disclosure, I do still actually do health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. I have it all over here, so I keep looking up there in all the recordings. I like to do two. If you just want one, you could just do that. And then you're going to want to do like a micro and a macro. So micro being something that you would like to manifest in the next 2 weeks. So you're going to plant an intention for something to unfold in the next 2 weeks. And then macro being something that would come to fruition in like 6 months. So you guys know what those are by now, hopefully. And if you're new to this space, go ahead and go watch the bonus training on the Square of Life and what I'm talking about when I talk about planting micro and macro intentions. Essentially, it's smaller things like be on time to more of my appointments, or start a exercise routine that is really nourishing for my body, or incorporate more plant-based foods because Virgo is a very grounded sign, so that'd be a great one. Or you could like crowd out foods. This month's Virgo, because Virgo is an earth sign, we in the rituals it talks about crowding out any like harsh chemicals in your cleaning environment. And so this might be a great month to try like a natural product, and that could be like a micro thing because you could very easily go to the store or go to your cupboard and clear out any of the like really chemical laden things and bring in some more natural cleaning products, or like look up recipes for like home cleaning. That would be like a micro. And then the macro would be like in a 6-month time span to fully phase out like chemicals in your house and become really conscious of when you do have chemicals come in. So I was just talking about this, that full disclosure, I still use a little bleach here and there because, sometimes you just really got to get things like clean. My mom's a physician and she was always like super sterile growing up. I mean, we grew up on a farm, so you can't really be that sterile having a farm, but her like, she like everybody would come in through our garage growing up. And so my mom used to like bleach our garage, like every Sunday night would just bleach it. And it would like kind of like start the week fresh. I'm sure by Saturday night, who knows what was on that garage floor. But the whole point with all these rituals and when working with the moon in like these 2-week and 6-month cycles is to incorporate things into your life in a really natural and organic way, and not to just go like all out and like wrestle your desires to the ground, because it's just not practical and it's not sustainable. And I'm all about practical and sustainable. So I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of the ritual, which if you haven't done it, take a few minutes in the next couple of days during this new moon phase to do it. As a reminder, the new moon phase is about 3 days, and you can do it before the new moon, so like a day before the new moon up to like a day or two after. Be sure to check when it shows up in your time zone. And again, like it's not about being super rigid. And if you only check into this space like once every 2 weeks, totally cool too. Just do whichever ritual it is. So like right now it's in a new moon. And just like watch that. Like if doing it once every 2 weeks is what works for you, do that. I personally check in at every phase of the lunar cycle, all 8 of them, which are like the yin and yangs, which again, you can find in the lunar cycle toolkit that you should have, or in the lunar cycle almanacs and trainings. You know what I'm talking about. You know where to find that. But I like to like check in on that. Okay, so Virgo new moon, giving it up to give it back. The long arm of the universe reaches out over people, places, and conditions, tipping the favor forever in your interest. What if a seemingly inopportune setback has to happen to get you in the exact right place at the exact perfect time for your destiny to unfold? Someone hit your car while merging in 5 lanes of holiday traffic. There's a mudslide on your property and insurance won't cover it. Or you completely missed an unmissable appointment that literally disappeared from your calendar after waiting months to get on the schedule. Do you ever wonder if all the red lights, wrong turns, missed opportunities are actually telling you that your life is moving at the perfect speed and headed in the right direction? I know it sounds counterintuitive, and no matter how much attention we pay to our surroundings, the details of our life, our homes, finances, or schedules, some things are just seriously out of our control, or so it seems. Nothing is accidental, and everything coincidental is actually a beautiful moment of divine unfoldment. During this new moon in Virgo, we're going to reframe perceived setbacks to see them for what they really are, universal setups. So taking a moment to give it up to God or let Jesus take the wheel shows the universe that we're comfortable in the act of surrender, even when it doesn't feel easy or come naturally. This month, as we ground into the earth sign of Virgo, we have a simple ritual for leaning into divine timing and learning to trust that the universe has our back. Whatever it is for you this month, the new moon is here for you to plant your intentions and then relax while the universe conspires to fulfill your desires. So for me, this new moon, I have my hands off the compass and my eyes towards the sky. And more specifically, I have my eyes on my holy triangle. Sorry. I'm feeling so silly. These like new moon vibes just get me. And my God box. So this is actually my spouse's and this is mine. And if you don't know what a holy triangle is or a God box, go do the ritual. And you can do either one, whichever one feels right for you. This God box is literally, I think it's just like, I don't even know if it's an old jewelry box or whatever. When my husband and I were making ours a few moons back, I kind of like went intricate and I wrapped this in like gold thread that I'd gotten from my grandma. She's a big knitter and she just like had all this random gold thread in her basement. She used to own a yarn shop. And I wrapped it around some like, I don't even know what these were, like metal things. I don't know. So anyways, I created this. My spouse got me this overseas many, many years ago. And this is my golden triangle. And I've got like my little golden intention in there. It's my intention. It's golden, but it's, you know. And then I said to my spouse, like, okay, which do you want? Do you want to do your own holy triangle? Do you want to do one? Do we want to have a family one? What do we want? And I told him like kind of the requirements. He comes back and he goes, okay, I got mine. I'm like, I don't even know where you found that, but perfect. So it can be as intricate or as simple as you would like. And basically you're just going to like fold up your intentions for this moon and for any moon and put them in there. So like the new moon's a good time to start this practice, but really once you get comfortable using a holy triangle or a God box, anytime is a good time, especially when you have something that you really want to happen and you really want to happen now, but you've taken all the practical steps and you know that like the universe is just going to have your back on this, or like there are other players in this, you know, we don't co-create alone. So this is a great place to like roll your intention up and slip it into your holy triangle or into your God box. In the ritual, I also talk about the placement process, the map placement process, which is actually an Abraham Hicks suggestion. And essentially what you're going to do is write on the left-hand side all the things that you can actually do and to like move forward with your intentions. And on the right-hand side, anything that the universe needs to help you with. And then you tear it in half and put it in your triangle. And I've been doing this for years, and it really does work because you just like set it and forget it. And then in like a week, you come back to it and open it up. And a lot of times it's like, wow, like that really just cleared off my plate or happened in a way I wasn't expecting. And I didn't have to work for it. And so it's like surrendering to the universe your wishes and hopes and dreams and goals, and then just like knowing that the universe will have your back. And at the end of the 7 to 10 days, you're going to want to make sure to like shred or burn or otherwise like transmute that energy. And don't keep putting the same thing back in, because then it's kind of like, I trust you, I don't trust you. I trust you, I don't trust you. I trust you, I don't trust you. Just know that your guides, angels, the universe, like whatever higher power it is that you call on will have your back. Okay. So that is the Holy Triangle and God Box ritual that I hope you will do. And then one last thing before we wrap this ritual up is body stuff. So I don't talk about this in all the rituals, but this month I had something come up. So last month we did our Bhagwas, right? And we were like really getting into the moving energy in our space. And I've been like physically journaling, because a lot of times like when you write things out by hand, that movement can help like clear things. And I hurt my wrist. I was like, geez, like, that's weird. I played women's rugby in college and had very few injuries. And here I am in my mid-30s and I've hurt my wrist journaling. Yeah, one of those injuries. People, how'd you hurt your wrist? Oh, I was just journaling. I just had a lot to process this month. And then when I was in my travel and helpful people corner of my home. And that's like a corner of the Bhagwas. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Bhagwas, go back to the Cancer new moon ritual and the Aquarius full moon ritual to get an idea of how to move energy in your physical space. And so while I was in my helpful people and travel corner, because we've got some upcoming plans and hiring new folks to help us out here on Golden Otter, I burned myself ironing. And I was like in that space, like pressing. And then I burned my hand curling my hair in that same space. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? Like I have a wrist injury here. I have a burn here. I'm moving energy and trying to process something. But my body is giving me a lot of signals. And so typically, if something happens like on your right-hand side, that is like a masculine energy. And then if it's happening on your left-hand side, that's like a feminine energy. And so it's almost ironic that like here I was writing and like processing and like, and this is what I'm going to do. And this is how I'm going to do it. Very yang energy, like masculine, human doing. And then over here on my feminine side, I'm feeling burned. Literally. And it was a really funny balance because, you know, the left is the feminine side, it's the yin side, it's the human being phase. And here I'm like in the doing phase. I'm writing and I'm ironing, and my masculine energy is just go, go, go. And over here, my feminine energy is going, hey, ouch, ouch, what about me? And so that's just something I wanted to talk about for a second and bring up to see, like, if your body is trying to tell you something, tap into that. We have rituals where I talk about it a bit, but you could always just Google what is the metaphysical reason for, and then like any body pain that you have going on, or any illness in any, like if your thyroid's acting up, if your kidneys are acting up, if you've got foot pain, whatever it may be, look up the metaphysical reason for it and see if that resonates with you and what's going on with your body. I know for me, it was like almost, you know, it was laughable that I was like, wow, like this is so symbolic of where I am. And so this new moon, I'm going to really lean more into my divine feminine energy of receiving and being like an open vessel. And because I'm a doer, I'm a Capricorn and just like really love to achieve. That's not always easy. You know, I want to like get work done. I want to just knock it out. So surrender, the act of surrender and being comfortable in that. So you guys know that when I start on these tangents, the train always comes back, right? You know that by now. Okay, so let me know in the comments or send me a message and let me know what you are surrendering or giving up this month and how your holy triangles or God boxes are going. Please send me a picture of them if you feel comfortable or share them with the group. Okay, happy new moon. I just hope it is such a vibrant time for you. Okay, with love and light, Autumn.